What up, what up, what up? What's up, G-Works? 12 people in the building, man. Appreciate you. Slap that like button for me. Evolution is Auto Salon. I see you. JNS Mobile. I see you. Man, dust it out. Visions, mobile detailing. I see you. Michael Jackson, what's going on? What up, what up? Man, we should have got some red velvet cake or something. Some red velvet cake. What's going on? What's up? Troy Lynch, what's going on, man? John, I see you. Never used it. Don't know anything about it. Max Shine DA version polisher. Don't know anything about it. Happy Easter. Sharon Webb, I see you. Yeah, I've been, since we got a lot of rain today, I knew the rain was coming, but I thought it was gonna come a little later. But it pretty much rained all day. I was gonna try to do some work around the house, some lawn care around my house, but that didn't work out. I did a little bit yesterday before it got dark. Touchless sealants. Okay, I'll try it out. Oh, okay. Building your website. Good. Z Customs, what's going on? Well, we got 21 people. That's enough to get started, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get started, man. I've been working on a video. I hadn't even been able to put out a video. I hadn't even been able to record lately because I've been getting like a lot of jobs. And so, I've just been trying to get the work done and put the camera down for a little bit. I still got some videos in the can that I can, well, not in the can, but I still got some videos that I can put out. But I'm working on one right now. I was gonna put it out tonight, but I'll just drop it in the morning. But anyway, man, I want to talk about the successful and the unsuccessful. And this could be about anything, like just regular life, detailing, whatever you think success is to you. But if you want to be successful at anything, there's certain things that you got to do no matter what it is. And I always wonder, you got people that people that's in your town, your city or whatever, that you're known practically all your life and they was always successful. Like everything they did, if they decided to do something, they were always successful about it. Think about that person and think about like the traits they had, how their attitude, their personality, the way they approach things. Think about that person and just put that person in your head right now. That person might just be you, you know. Then you got the unsuccessful person. Somebody who's pretty much they mediocre, they never been successful at anything. And then think about their attitude and think about their traits and think about their personality and think about how they approach things and just put that person in your head. And you will see that everyone that's successful usually have a lot in common as far as the way they approach things, the way they approach anything, whether it be sports, business, academics, just raising your kids. I mean, being able to raise, to me, aside, you could just put money and business and all that to the side. If you raise good kids, when you raise your kids right, that's a success to me, because it's hard raising kids. But that's successful to me, and a lot of people don't usually say that. You raise your kids and your kids turn out great and they do great things. That's a success because you put somebody out there in the world that's gonna do some things. But the one thing that I've noticed about a lot of successful people is persistence. And after I get done with this, I'm also going to give y'all a book that I want y'all to read. I've had over the past month and a half, I've had like 3 people, just because of conversations I had with these people, I had 3 people to tell me to read this book. Because the way I talk, they felt that I read the book and I hadn't read the book. I just read the book. And it's an old book. I've heard about it before they said it, but I finally took the time to download it and listen to it while I'm out there working. And I was like, wow, like the book, it felt like it was talking about me. And I'm pretty sure you guys will feel that you're going to feel it's talking about you too when you listen to it or when you read it. But I'll tell y'all, and if I forget, somebody remind me, but I'll tell you the book at the end of the live. But one thing I've always noticed about anybody that's successful is persistence. Like it's like they never wave or never, steer off their path. They stay the course. They never give up no matter what happens. They may take a break. They may stop to reevaluate things, but they never stop. They keep moving. They never give up. And I noticed that the unsuccessful people, as soon as something get hard, or as soon as trouble comes, or anything that's gonna make things difficult, and it's not going their way, they give up. They quit. They're done with it. And a lot of the times, success is on the other side of a conflict or a problem or a situation. Just like right on the other side. If you get through that, boom, there goes success. But they never be successful because as soon as it gets tough, they're done. Another thing I noticed, and this is something that I do, is that I'm so persistent about it, about like my business, about A&A, that I think about it day and night. I think about it all the time. There's not a day, a second, a minute, an hour that goes by that I'm not thinking about A&A, that I'm not thinking about my business. And it's just like when just like when I kind of glance at the news. I really don't watch the news that much anymore. Like I go months and months and months and do not watch the news. If it wasn't for Facebook and people, I wouldn't know what's going on sometimes. And the thing about it is, like, with all that's going on right now, I'm not gonna even say the name because I don't want to give it no shine. But with all that's going on right now, like everybody's afraid, and they're shutting stuff down. And I'm like, I understand to a certain degree, but there's a lot of things that you can still do, and people just shut everything down and just be like, okay, well, I'm, do you know how long, like, just taking me, if I took 2 weeks off, if I took a month off, if I took, I mean, they talking about this stuff is going to go on into like May or June. If I took that much time off, do you know how much I'm gonna set myself back from my goal? I'm talking about drastically. And when I think about that, I can't do it. I can't do it. The funny thing about it is because of my mindset. Like when I'm hearing all this, and when they're saying, oh, non-essential and essential, and shelter in, and it's gonna be a lockdown, and this and this and this and that. My mind, I cannot, for some reason, I don't feel like they talking to me. Like that's how persistent I am about this. Like I don't feel like they talking to me. Like when they say that, I'm just like, okay, they not talking about me because I'm different. I truly believe like this how I feel. Like if they say, okay, non-essential businesses, can't operate. All right, in essence, they say we're non-essential. Like me personally, in my mind, I feel like it's essential because because it's me. I'm biased. It's essential. I'm gonna keep working. The only way I'm gonna stop working, like I said earlier in another part, in another live, is you're gonna have to literally tap me on my shoulder and say, "Hey, you got to pack everything up and stop." Until then, I'm not stopping. You know. Another thing is that in this book I was telling you about, that I'm going to tell you about, it was just by coincidence that the book brought up the flu epidemic and smallpox epidemic briefly. It didn't talk on it much, but it talked about the fear. It talked about people being afraid of it, and it was saying that people that are not afraid of the disease usually don't catch it. Now he didn't say that if you're not afraid, you're not going to catch it, but he said people that are not afraid of the disease usually don't catch it. So I don't want nobody to be talking about, I'm saying if you're not afraid, you're not going to catch it. I'm going to say it again. It said people that are not afraid of the disease usually don't catch it. So I thought about that statement. I said, wow. And I started thinking about doctors and nurses and stuff like that. It's very seldom that you hear a doctor getting sick from a patient. Very seldom. Does it happen? I'm pretty sure it does. But you would think it'll happen at a higher scale because they're right there interacting with the patient. And so that just, I'm like, wow. So another thing, and also, you're not afraid of the disease because you understand the disease and you know how to protect yourself from it. And if by chance, if you get sick, you know the steps to take to get better. So I think that's what, now that's just my opinion on that. I think that because you're not afraid of it, it's because you understand it. Because usually you're afraid of things you don't understand. See, I use common sense all the time. So I think that what it is that you understand the disease, therefore you're not afraid of it. And if you understand the disease, you know how you can catch it. You know that if you catch it, the risk of you dying or passing it on to somebody else and everything. But by chance, if you do catch it, you know how to deal with it to get better. So my persistence kicks in, and my persistence won't allow me to be afraid of this disease. You see what I'm saying? And I did get some understanding on it. Another thing is the successful, they keep going until the goal is met. They keep going until the goal is met. If they say, hey, I want to save up $20,000 by 2023, I want to have 10,000 or 20,000 in the bank, or I want to be running my own business, or I want to write a book, or whatever it is. They start on the goal, they keep going, and they don't stop until it's met. Now, the flip side of that, the unsuccessful, if it takes too long, another thing, if you give yourself a time limit and the goal is not met at the time limit, the successful person will just keep going until it's met. Like, okay, I did say 3 years, but it didn't happen because I had this to happen, but they stayed on the course, and they may get it a year later or 2 years later, but they're going to keep going until it's done. The unsuccessful, when they get to 2022 in November and they know nowhere close, they'll just give up. Another thing I noticed is that the successful, they take calculated risk. Now, not the risk of like gambling and stuff like that, not something that that is very high that you're gonna fail. They take calculated risk, weigh the pros and cons, and pretty much they will do what others are afraid to do. They will do what others are afraid to do, man. They'll actually go out there, certain things that you be like, oh man, I'm not doing that. The successful person is gonna look at it and say, okay, how can I do it? How can I raise what's the word I'm looking for? How can I raise this of turning out positive versus it turning out negative? And so, like I said, you can take risk, but you have to take calculated risk, which means that you weigh your options. If it's not looking good for you, you do certain things so it can turn out good for you. And that's what I do. That's exactly what I do. Like everything that I do, I say, okay, let me weigh my options. Let me see. Okay, just like today, not today, just like maybe this past Tuesday, I did a pine straw job. And I'll be putting out like a quick video about it, probably sometime this coming week. But I actually laid 167 bales of pine straw. Now you do the math. Each bale is $5.50 a bale. And whatever that price is that you come up with, you have to double it. And that's how much the whole job is. That once you double it, if you cut it in half is on the material, half goes to me. If you do the math, you'll see what it is. So the lady called me and she was like, hey, and she found me online. I don't know this lady, never met her before, never seen her before. Right now, she can walk up to me and slap me in my face and I wouldn't know who she is. But she called me and she was like, hey, I want to see if you can lay some pine straw. And I'm like, yeah, I can do that for you. In my mindset, I'm just thinking about what I do all the time, the houses around here. You know, at the most, you may do 20, 30, some 60, something like that. But at the most, between 20 and 30 something bells. Quick, easy work. So I'm like, yeah, sure, give me an address. I'll go right out there. She give me an address. I go out there. I walk around. They have a pool area. They have landscaping around the pool area that needs the pine straw around the entire perimeter of the house, like the entire perimeter. Just make a circle around the house. It's all pine straw. Um, they had a that big tree off to the corner that you could put at least 20 bales of pine straw there. Then they had like some landscaping right at the border of their land that separates their land from, it was like a ditch right there. So pine straw around that. So I'm counting. I counted like 3 or 4 times. I was coming up with like 150, 170, so um, I just said, okay, I just picked the number, and I just picked the number that I knew would work, and I went with that. And I called her, and I told her, hey, uh, it's gonna be, $900 in pine straw, and I'm gonna need that up front. It's gonna be about $1,000 in pine straw actually, and I'm gonna need that up front. And she was like, okay, and I gave her the total price. I sent her an invoice. She paid it up front. I had to get the pine straw delivered because it was so much. So I get it delivered. Now here's the thing. Here's the risk that you're taking. Can you complete this by yourself? That's the risk that I'm taking. Well, so now I'm making my calculations. I'm thinking, I will see if Ashton can help me. Actually, Ashton, was able to come out and help me. But he was only able to help me for a short amount of time because he had to get some schoolwork done and do like they do a little conference over on the computer, like kind of like a FaceTime type thing. And so he had to do that. So I wasn't going to have him all day. But when he did come help, it was like he was able to get a lot done. The help that I did get was allowed me to allowed to make it easier on me. It did, but I did the majority of it by myself. But but I didn't know if that was gonna happen or not. But so I'm looking at it in myself as doing it by myself. So I just said, okay, if I get there this amount of time, I just think about, okay, I did 60 bells one time before. That's the most I've ever done. I think 60 or 70 is the most I've ever done before this. So I just thought to myself, okay, how long did it take me to do that? And let me just double that. It's going to be double that. So then I just said, okay, I need to start early enough. I need to get this done. I need to get that done. So I'm weighing my pros and cons. I'm weighing everything out. Now push came to shove, and I said, okay, I got to get some help. Okay, I knew that I was going to get enough money where I could pay somebody pretty good. Like the money that I was going to get, I could get 2 people and pay them real good, and tell them how much I'm gonna pay them before they even start. Like, look, I got this much for you. Hey, you want to make $100? Yeah, okay. All you got to do is come out here and help me move this pine straw. Yo, you want to make $100? Like, I'd have called around. I'm pretty sure somebody would have jumped at that. So that was me weighing my options, okay? And so I took the job. So luckily, I had some help, and everything went good, and I walked away with a good payday. So that's the thing. Some people, now there was a time, and I'm talking about me, there was a time that I would have turned that down. I would have been like, oh, no, I can't do this. I would have turned it down because I didn't know what I was capable of. But over time, just slowly but surely doing different things, building my value, doing certain things, over time, I just said, okay, yo, I can do this. If I could do 70 and I wasn't burnt out, double that is 140. I might be tired or I might get burnt out, but I think I could complete it before I'm done, So that's the way I looked at that, and that was my calculated risk. Right. Now, another thing is, I've noticed about successful and unsuccessful. You notice that unsuccessful people are very indecisive. Indecisive, like they're afraid to make a decision, or they don't make a decision, or they procrastinate. Where on the other hand, the successful makes definite decisions. Like when I decided, like, you know what, I'm going to start my business. 2011, I decided, okay, I'm gonna start my business. I went on Vistaprint, printed out some cards. I came up with a plan, uh, a rough draft of a plan. And over time, I updated it and made it better. And this is what you see today. But I said, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I started buying equipment. I started making definite decisions, and I chose my path. And I told myself that I wasn't going to, like, I may update, I may change my plans, but I'm going to stay on the same path. Not necessarily change the plans, but update the plan and make it better. Because sometimes you can make a plan, and it doesn't work out. Like the plan is not the right plan for what you're trying to do, so you have to update the plan. So that's not changing anything. It's still a definite decision, and you're still on this right path, but you're updating the plan as you go on, because there's going to be certain information that you don't have and certain things that you don't know, but as you come to know them, you start making the necessary. What's going on, detailing dealership? I ain't seen you in a while, big dog. But like those are the things that I be paying attention to, because everybody and the thing is, I'm gonna tell you this too, like uh, every time I take an idea and I work my idea, and I make a smart decision, a smart move, it seems like the money comes in, like I get a good payday. But I can work hard and work hard and work hard and work hard and bust my ass and everything. And although I still have a decent payday, it doesn't it doesn't equal to the payday when I use this up here. Now don't get me wrong, you gotta work hard. But don't y'all notice people that bust their ass that work hard, they're not rich. And the people that just y'all tell me about it if y'all notice this. And you notice the people that seem not to sweat, not to work hard, make a lot of money, like more money than you probably ever see. Y'all let me know if y'all see something, know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's yeah, that like when you I just notice a lot of people who who like really get it in, like work hard. Like, man, you ever watch those guys on the back of those garbage trucks? Whoo. Man, you ever look at those guys in the back of them garbage trucks, man? Set them plays up, right? Man, but you ever look at those guys on the back of those garbage trucks, man? Like they be working. Like that's some work. Like all you doing is jumping off the truck, grabbing the garbage can. But do you know how many houses, how many garbage cans full of trash, all that weight that you're picking up for all those hours, dumping it in that thing and putting the can back on the side, putting the can back on the side of the sidewalk and just over and over and over and over, man. That's some hard work, and I know those guys. I don't think they get paid a lot, and they work hard. So I realized early on that hard work doesn't always equal hard work doesn't always equal a big payday. Now you didn't miss too much. You didn't miss too much, but you can always watch the replay. But actually, the funny thing about it is the the funny thing about it is like I keep a spreadsheet on like my expenses, how much I make and everything. And I was looking at like I went all the way back to like 2015, I think. And I'm looking at March and April, how much I made in March and April. And this is the highest March and April I've ever had. Like I'm almost beaten. And where we are, the 12th? I'm almost made more in those 12 days of this year than this April versus the other Aprils, all like April 19, 18, like I done beat all of them already. Oh, well, no, I almost beat all of them already. Like that's crazy. And this is slow times. This is people saying it's slow. Uh, Not here. I mean, when I go to the store, everybody wearing masks, everybody scared. People are. But this is my thing. What's gonna happen after, let's say, let's say if it goes on for like another 6 months. Let's say all this keeps going and it's never gonna be the same. I don't think it'll ever be the same again. But let's just say it just keeps going. Then what are you gonna do? Are you gonna stop? Are you gonna shut your business down if you're self-employed, or are you gonna go get a job, or what? You just gonna shut down? Yeah, but you just started. You just started out. Don't ride dirty, right? You just started because people are still calling me. Yeah, people will start calling me. So that don't count really. Like your first year, you're just starting out and you haven't built a customer base or clientele. You know, you gotta like when you build up all those people, you'll start to notice that every year, every year your months are gonna get better and better. You're gonna now you are gonna notice like January and December and those months will get slow because it gets cold or it's around Christmas time or after Christmas and stuff like that. You'll start noticing it get slow. But you'll start noticing if you go back, let's say like let's let 5 years go back. Let's let 5 years go back. Let's go back 5 years. No, I'm sorry. Let's let 5 years go by. and you go back and look at year one, you go look at January year one, and then January year five, you're going to see a drastic difference because your clientele and your customer base has grown. So even though it's slow, even though that'll be slow, it'll be still way more than you made in January 5 years ago. So like I me that first year is really, I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen. That don't really count. We in shutdown mode. Also, a lot of people not working at all. Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going on in other towns and other cities, but here, I mean, I did see something the other day about yesterday. Matter of fact, yesterday when I was going to do a detail, I saw on the little, you know how those highways have those little screens, and it was like shelter in. They ain't talking to me. That's how I look at it. They not talking to me, man. I got a purpose. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, the difference between a successful person and an unsuccessful person is purpose. A successful person always has a purpose, always has a goal. And that's what and they stay on that goal. That's what keeps them successful because that occupies their mind and they don't let nothing else nothing else is able to get in their mind. You know, that's the biggest thing, your mindset. I'll keep detailing, still have my day job. I also started out a few months back. Good reviews are keeping me going. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about because I don't know, man. I mean, I honestly believe that it's the person. I do. It's just the person. You're gonna have some people that like, okay, like I was talking to a guy, he owns a store, one of my clients. He owns a store, he's successful. Uh he was like, man, he's keeping it closed until everything is is done with. That's what he said. I'm like, wow, you know. But his stores make a lot of money, so I guess he's looking at, okay, I got a lot of money saved up. I can literally sit this thing out because I got a lot of money saved up. That's how we thinking. Now, does that make you unsuccessful? No, does not make you unsuccessful. It just means it just means you see things a little different than the next person. But see, me personally, another thing that's driving me because it's just me. Like, it's just me. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm the breadwinner. The only income is mine. That's it. So I refuse to stop because if I stop, then bills won't get paid, things that happen. I mean, I got a little bit saved up, but it ain't like I can sit back for 2 3 years without working. It's not gonna happen. So it's no joke in some areas. Yeah, but look at the numbers though. Look at the numbers. How many people are dying? Like people are catching it, but how many people are dying from it? Like in Mississippi, we got 2 million people in the whole state. It's 2,000 in some cases. Like 78 people passed. And all of them had like pre-existing issues and stuff like that. Now 28 people, that's a lot of people. But it's only like 1% of the population of the entire state. And those numbers are the entire state. So, I mean, that's just how I look at it, man. I think the fear, like I said the other day, I think the fear is worse than the disease itself. Be better than yesterday. Don't listen to the haters, right? Word of mouth and the retirement communities are keeping me going. in New York. Were you talking about in New York more than Pearl Harbor 9/11 put together died? So you saying that many people died in New York? Shit. Let me look it up. You talking about cases or deaths? Let me see. Damn, 6,000. And New York got, damn, six. I'm looking at it now, 6,898 deaths. Oh, hold on. I'm looking at something else. 9,385 deaths. Yeah, I can see that. It's a heavily populated area. You know, you got subways, all these little places where everybody tight together, breathing in each other air. Yeah, I can see that. Yep. Well, I mean, you just gotta stay safe, man. But still, I'm gonna keep working, man. I gotta keep working. Oh, okay. You got a your housekeeping. So you got a cleaning business too? HM Auto Detailing. Cause that was something I always wanted to get into. I mean, that's real. It's real big. Like mobile maids. That's real big here. But who all here does detailing part time and have a 9 to 5? So like, have y'all jobs? Are they like non-essential? Have they shut y'all like? Did they have to lay you off or tell you to stop coming, or have like a modified schedule, modified pay? For the elder. Okay. Well, it's good to hear like most of y'all are still getting some work done. Still got something going on, man. I'm just thankful that it hadn't shut me down or slowed me down. Just happy that it hadn't done it, at least so far. I can say that. So I'm just taking advantage of it. Okay. Okay. Oh, you work for a company with the mobile with the you're talking about HM Auto Detail. You're talking about the house cleaning, housekeeping. Okay, I hear you. Oh, okay. New construction. Okay. Well, glad to see it. I'm glad that y'all still got something going on. Cause them stimulus checks and stuff like that, it'll help, but it ain't gonna be enough if this thing keeps going the way it's going. In a condo. They have not made it mandatory yet. To me, I've been running into a lot of people that really want a car sanitized. So have you been taking those jobs? You've been running to a lot of people that want their car sanitized. Have you been doing those jobs or turning them down? Won't help in Carolina, in California. I know it won't help. California is very high state. Most deaf. That's what I'm talking about. Just be safe about it, man. You know, educate yourself on the disease, and but those heavily populated areas, I've noticed is just something different. And talking about like giving people like what 6 feet, but but like here in Mississippi, like everything is far from each other. Like my neighbor's house is, I mean, it's close, but it's not very close. Like everything is spread out anyway. So I think that is part of it. I haven't started my business, but I'm working on it. I was wondering. I haven't started my business. Uh, I think car lots are okay for starting out. What type of car lots are you talking about? Are you talking about the car lots like mom and pop car lots? Or are you talking about dealerships? But they're all good because you get a chance to touch a lot of different cars, um, build your experience. It's okay for starting out, but over time, you'll start to see that you can do better. You go move on. But I encourage anybody that's starting out to take what you can take, get what you can get, and grow from that. Make sure that's not your end game. That's all I can tell you. Vicksburg on tornado watch. Yeah, we were supposed to have like real bad weather, but they were saying hailstorm and all that type of stuff. But we were just getting rain so far. It is probably uh, bad in Vicksburg. Not sure. Oh yeah, but it looks scary. Everybody walking around with masks on. Okay, you said you had an issue starting your business. Too much that need to get started. Okay, what do you need to get started? Tell me that. You said it's too much. Tell me what's too much about what you need to get started. In order to get grants that we don't have to pay back the paperwork involved. Why do you need a grant? Yeah, I don't understand what you mean. Like, you talking about a government grant that you don't have to pay back? You probably won't get a grant for a mobile detailing business. You probably won't even get a grant, but it don't take a lot of money. You don't need a lot of money to start mobile detailing business. Oh, okay. I still don't understand where you're coming from, but Maybe you know some I don't know. I already had my truck, and man, you can buy vans all over the place. I mean, you can buy a van, you know, you don't have to be all glamorous. You don't need all this stuff. You just need stuff that works. Because your customers do not care about how your van look and how your equipment look and what it is, as long as you can wash their vehicle. You got people who have nothing but a car, 100-foot hose, a vacuum cleaner, microfiber towels, pads, soap, chemicals. And they pull up in a Nissan Sentra and detail cars. You don't need all that. There's no way that like I just don't get it because I started mine with 500. I already had a truck, and I started mine with 500. You could find a van for 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, or less than that. I just use their power and water. Yeah, I mean to get started, you listen to the word start. Now you're gonna talk yourself, and this is what I'm talking about: the successful versus the unsuccessful. If you tell yourself it's hard, then you're lost already. It's going to be hard. If you tell yourself, "Oh, I can't start. It's too much. This and this and that," you done already put that in your head. So that's in your head, and that's the hardest thing to beat is yourself, your head. If something get into your head, that's it. Can't nobody convince you otherwise. Trust me. I know a lot. I could show you a long list of people who started with sometimes nothing, and now they got vans with hose reels and you know $20,000-$30,000 vans and $5,000-$10,000 setups and all that, all off using somebody's electricity and building their money up. Right. Okay. I hear what you're saying, but I'm still trying to understand where you say it's hard. You're having a hard time getting started. Is if you can use somebody else's water, I mean, a hose doesn't cost much. You can borrow a hose. Like if I needed a hose, I'll go to my parents' house and take their hose. You can go to Walmart, Home Depot, and everything. You can buy a vacuum cleaner, a rigid under $100. You can go to Walmart, Dollar General, AutoZone, O'Reilly's, buy the chemicals. You got to work to the point to get efficient. If you haven't started yet, and you don't have any customers, why do you need to be efficient now? You just need to get started to know what you're gonna need. How you know what you're gonna need until you get started? You never know. You may start doing mobile detailing, and somebody asks you about pressure washing, and you get a big pressure washing gig. You don't know where the business will take you. I know somebody who started out doing mobile detailing, and they went to a marina. Now the marina is contracted them, and that's all they do is boats. $600, $700, $800 a boat. But he started out wanting to do mobile detailing, and he went to that. I've been doing this for a while. I don't understand. It's not hard. It's not hard to start. Trust me. You got your van for 700. Cause trust me, you don't have to have a fancy van. If that's your thought process, you will never get started. Cause trust me, the government is not gonna give you no grant. The government is not gonna give you free money to start your business. Nah. I work off of trailer 500, so I don't have to do insurance on another vehicle. This is an easy business to get started. Don't make it more complicated than it really is. Exactly. What's going on, Eric Jones? Yeah, but if you put that into your head, you're already lost. If you tell yourself, it's too hard, or you're already, and then the thing about it is something being hard should not be a reason to not do anything. Like there's no way. I mean, when I'll give y'all my story. I've told this before. When I first started, when I first started, I started. When I first started, I um, I started in 2012, January 2012. I started A&A Lawn Service. 6 months later, that same year, I added mobile detailing. Okay, I didn't have a zero turn. I didn't have a walk behind. I didn't have uh, a commercial weed. I had no commercial equipment. I had a Craftsman 21-inch lawnmower. I had two of them. One of them was my father's. I took two. I took his. I had two of them. Then I had three weed eaters. I had two weed eaters. Both were my dad's. Uh, and a blower that my dad bought for me when I was living with them. I still had it. Okay, so we pretty much, I think the only thing the only thing that was mine was one lawnmower and one weed eater. My dad was the type, he'll buy everything you need to use at his house, but he wasn't using it. I was doing the yard, so I took the stuff. He didn't mind. Okay? I had both those lawnmowers on the back of my truck because I knew that one of those lawnmowers was going to break as much as I was using it. So I had both of them just in case one went bad, I could keep going with the other one. I had two weed eaters back there, and I had the blower and my gas cans. That's how I started. I didn't buy nothing when I started. Now, I know everybody may not have that opportunity, but you can get a push lawnmower for almost 50, 60. Just ask around. Ask people who started their business. I guarantee you, they're going to tell you they started with a push mower. Now, some people do start big. You know, they may have a rich uncle, or they might have got a credit card and put everything on the credit card, and they got just everything worked out for them. It just don't work that way all the time. But most people start off small, and so that's what I did, and I started out that way. I passed out flyers. I got a few calls. I went out there to do the jobs. Neighbors started seeing me. You know, neighbors of the people yards I was maintaining will see me. Hey, could you give me an estimate? Boom, boom, boom. Now I got 10 people. Okay. Now I got 10 yards. Okay. I'm pulling in a little money. I take my lawnmower to get fixed. When I'm there, I see a 48-inch scag walk behind. I'm looking at that mower and saying to myself, you know what? I could do my lawns faster if I had that lawnmower right there. Hey, how much you want for that lawnmower? 700. Oh, okay. I'm gonna come back for that mower. 2 days later, I came back and I bought that mower. And then I used that mower for about a year before it gave out on me. All right. But by that time, I had made some money, made enough money, and I bought the X Mark that I had. You see what I'm saying? I don't know how this is gonna go. I may go and something else may happen. Somebody may say, hey, can you trim my bushes in this? Can you do my landscaping? Can you do this? And then all of a sudden, I'm doing nothing but landscaping, trimming bushes and land mulching. I'm not doing it. You don't know. So to try to start off and buy all this fancy big equipment, you don't know where your journey's gonna take you. You know, so I'm just not buying that. But that's what I did. What's going on, Router? But that's what I did. So then my mobile detailing, again, I had no information. I had no information about mobile detailing. The first time I saw mobile detailing was 2001 or two. I think it was 2002. I saw a guy, he pulled up, he had a utility trailer, a big water tank. I see all these, machines on it. I didn't know what they was. The only thing I recognized was the generator and the vacuum cleaner. I didn't even know what the pressure washer was in 2002. I didn't never seen one. Didn't even know they existed. I'm looking at the guy and I'm like, yo, like how you get the water to like I didn't even know, I didn't even say pressure, but I was like, how you get the water to come out, with some force or whatever. And he didn't really tell me, he didn't want to talk to me or whatever. He kind of just brushed me off or whatever. And I was like, wow. But when I saw that, I thought about that. When I saw that in 2002 and I thought about it. Not every day, but time after, time here and there, I would just think about it. 2006, I thought about it again. I tried to do a little research. I found word about pressure washers. I was thinking about like, I'm gonna get a truck. I want to put everything in my truck. But I guess I didn't want to do it bad enough. I didn't want to do it bad enough, so it didn't happen in 2006. Now, 6 years later, 2012, when I was like, okay, my back was against the wall, I had no other choice. I said, okay, I'm finna do this. And it was pretty much like I burned all my bridges. It's like I burned all my bridges and I had nowhere else to go. So I didn't have no other choice but to do it. You see what I'm saying? So I started, and by this time, because I think YouTube started in 2006. So by this time, YouTube had a lot of content on detailing. So I started looking at setups and stuff like this and looking at stuff. One of the first videos I saw was like Right Look. They had the $5,000, $10,000 setup. You pay $10,000, you get it set up, and then you get to go to this class. And I'm thinking to myself, I know that we can do this for less than $10,000 because I'm looking at the price of a pressure washer. I'm looking at the price of a vacuum cleaner. I'm looking at the price of a generator. It's not a Honda. It's not, all this fancy stuff, but it's a generator. This. It has to be decent. I'm looking at it and I'm like, yo, I'm adding this up, and all this is less than $1,000. All this is less than $2,000. I even saw cheaper stuff that was less than $500. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna take $500. I bought my water tank. I bought $100. I'm talking about, it was the little generator, like a lunchbox. It's only like 900 watts, 1,000 watts. I bought that. All I needed was to turn my vacuum on. That was my mindset. I wasn't thinking about buffing, polishing, being efficient. I wasn't thinking about none of that. I was just thinking about, can I complete a car? That's all I was thinking about. I'll do the rest of that stuff later. I don't care about that. I'm going to do the rest of that stuff later. Because guess what? The car washing thing may not work out. So if it doesn't work out, this is the way I was thinking. If it doesn't work out, because like I said, I always take calculated risk. If it doesn't work out, I only spent $500. And guess what? I can use the vacuum cleaner for myself. I can use the generator for myself. I can use the pressure washer for myself. You see what I'm saying? But when you go buy this big old van, all this equipment mounted in, and it don't work out, now guess what you're trying to do? You're trying to sell your van. And guess what? You probably won't be able to sell it for the money that you put into it. So anyway, so I bought all this stuff. And so now my thing was, do I need a water pump? Do I need a pump or not? So I'm searching on YouTube. I'm looking at pumps. I'm looking at this. And then I found one guy. He had his pressure washer sitting on the ground. He had a hose running from the water tank on the back of his truck to the pressure washer. And I saw that he didn't have no tank. I messaged him. I saw he had no pump. I messaged him, yo, do you have a water pump? He was like, no. And so I said, hey, I said, call me. The guy called me and he told me what to do. And when I did that and I pushed that trigger and water flowed out that trigger and I pulled that string and that generator turned on, I plugged in that vacuum turned on, I could complete a car. That's all I cared about. If you watch my videos, go back. I upgraded as time went on. I upgraded bit by bit. So if you try to start off all fancy, hey, go ahead, be my guest. But don't say it's hard to get started because it's not. I just can't believe that. I'm not gonna buy that. This is the cheapest business that you can get into. Oh, okay. Well, all right. If you misspoke, I see you, but you said you're having a hard time starting your business, so that's what I took it as. The cheapest businesses that you can get into besides Uber. Painting business is cheap to get into also. My buddy does it right. Like, trust me, man. Oh, and I'm gonna tell y'all this book to read. Y'all get this book, man. It is called Think and Grow Rich. And I know a lot of you probably on here probably heard of it, but it's called Think and Grow Rich. Listen to that book. The guy's not telling you how to get rich. It's not telling you how to make money, but it's telling you about your mindset. It's telling you about your mindset. And that's what this is about. That's what this is about. If you tell yourself that something is difficult, it's difficult. If you tell yourself you're not gonna win, you're already lost before you even started. Trust me, it can be done because trust me, in 2006, think about it. A guy was doing it in 2001. 2002. And I know that many before him done it. It probably was done 20 years before he did it. I just hadn't seen it yet. You see what I'm saying? In 2006, I wasn't eager enough, and I was interested, but I wasn't eager enough, and I wasn't motivated enough to start it. So I never started it. It wasn't until, like I said, all my bridges was burnt. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying I didn't have no options. I didn't have no other options. So I just said, you know what? I just said, you know what? Forget this stuff, man. I was like, man, forget this stuff, man. I'm finna go in. I'm finna do this. And I went and bought that stuff, man. And I remember telling my mom I'm gonna do it. I remember telling my dad I'm gonna do it. And I remember them like kind of discouraging me from doing it. But I had my mind made up, just like I said, a successful person makes definite decisions. I had my mind made up. I said, this is what I'm gonna do. It was, I looked at the risk. I made a calculated decision. I took a calculated risk, and how many years later? 9 years later, look at it. Like, it's grown tremendously. Like, I'm able to support my whole family, like my household. I'm able to support my entire household off my lawn care and detailing. I'm able to do that. And I'm just saying, it all started out as an idea, but it's up here. Trust me, you can't do nothing until you think it up here first. And if you got negative thoughts up here, it's not gonna happen. I'm just letting you know, it's not gonna happen. You're gonna come up with all these excuses, all this, that, and it's not gonna happen. I'm telling you, that's how it is. I was like that old rhyme, old lady rich trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. Buy everything in stages. Just do it. Right, right, you right, Sharon Webb. You right. And that's how it goes. Like, I'm telling you, man, everybody go look at all these rich people, like famous people or celebrities or whoever. Look at a Bill Gates or Warren Buffett. Go look at their documentaries. They got documentaries out there on those guys. Go let these guys tell their stories. They all started from humble beginnings, and they all started with something. You know how somebody takes a paper clip? You know that little story about a guy takes a paper clip and trades it up? Man, trust me, it can be done. You just got to be patient and have faith. Make a plan, have faith that it's going to work. If your plan is, because you can only plan at the knowledge level that you are now, right? So you make your plan. It seems right to you because of the knowledge that you have. Okay, so when you gain more knowledge and get a better understanding, then the plan that you start out with might have to be adjusted and updated. And then you update it. You see? Right. You right. I like what you saying, Angel. You right. The thing is that you got a Bissell extractor. Okay, Bissell extractor is going to be a whole lot slower. It's not designed for commercial use, but it'll get the job done. But you got somebody that wants you to shampoo their seats and their carpets today. You may not have time to buy $200, $300, $400, $500, $700, the mighty light, all that stuff. You may not have the money in your budget to do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're only making 100, 200 a car, maybe 300 a car or whatever, and you got to pay bills with that. It's going to take you a few months, maybe a year or whatever to save up that money. But you can go buy a Bissell right now at the store right now. You ain't got to order and wait for it to come in. You can go buy a Bissell at the store right now and do that car. Make that money, okay, I made this much, let me put this to the side. Okay, you did another car. I made this much, put that to the side. Oh, I did another one. Now you got 300 saved up. You can go get a commercial, or you halfway there to the big boy. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I was. Like, I just said I'm gonna do it bit by bit, just like when I save. When I save for my slow months, because my slow months used to be November, January. My slow months used to be November, December, January, February. But since like I was telling, I forgot who I was telling that earlier to. I think, yeah, don't ride dirty. Like I was saying, but as the years went on, those months, although they were slow, but they were high paying months. You see what I'm saying? Although they were slower because you're comparing it to your busy time. Okay, so now it's not November and January no more. It's February. It's no longer November and December. My slow months is January and February because it's cold. You see what I'm saying? So, and then my lawn care really slows down. Like, I'm doing no lawn care. It's like mostly all detailing, pressure washing. I might do some bushes and stuff like that. So that slows down. So when I went through that season, my first 2 years, I was like, wow, I need to save money for those months because it's slow. So I'll do a job here. I'll take $20 from that job. I may have 5 jobs. Okay, so if I have 5 jobs, I'm gonna save $100 that day, or $50 that day. Sometimes $20 that day. It just depends. And I'm just piecing it by little, putting it away. And I'm doing this from March. I'm doing this March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. I'm doing it. So when January come, man, I will be shocked at how much money I saved. Now I've had some situations where I saved the money for a rainy day and then something happened to my truck and I had to use that to pay for my truck. But I had it. You see what I'm saying? You'll be surprised how much money you'll save if you do it. If you just stay consistent, stay the course, little by little. So it's the same thing, just like Sharon Webb said. It's the same thing. Just like she said, like she she did stuff little by little, trying to make a dollar out of 15 cents. And another thing about unsuccessful people is they want something for nothing. They want something for nothing. You think that you're gonna come in here and you're gonna spend $1 and make, 1,000. It's not gonna happen. And if you're afraid to pay for information, something is wrong with you. That's how and I'm just gonna keep it real. If you're afraid to pay for information, like I pay for information all the time. I buy books. I'm talking about I got 2 degrees. And I paid for them. You see what I'm saying? Oh no, I take that back. My first one was free, but my second one I paid for it. So I paid for information. You see what I'm saying? Just expecting. Everything comes at a price. Everything comes at a price. You're gonna have to put the work in to get that fancy stuff. You're gonna have to put the work in unless you got that rich grandma, uncle, or whatever. That book is Dan Locke, if I'm not wrong. No, that book that I'm telling you about, Think and Grow Rich, is from Napoleon Hill. It's from Napoleon Hill. I look at I look at this as my turn. All of my 6 children are grown now. I have the opportunity to network with people who need and want detailing services. Save more and spend less. Right, like that's what I'm talking about. And yo, so okay, I'm looking at your thumbnail. Yo, okay, yo, so Sharon Webb, you're the one. What do you call yourself on? What do you call yourself on Facebook? Cause you're the new wave. I can see barely see the logo, but it looks familiar. And see, that's what I'm talking about. 6 kids. She said 6 kids. Now it's my time. So that means I guarantee that she was thinking about this. I guarantee you that for a while she been thinking about doing this. Now it's her opportunity, and she done pulled the trigger and she moving with it. That's what I'm saying. What do you call yourself on Facebook? It was something I saw your business name. Sharon Webb. I'm starting out auto detailing in San Diego. I've done 4 jobs already. I'm dealing with pricing now. Right. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. And you gonna figure it out. That's what I'm saying. It's if you like I said, if you persisted enough and because if you do a car, like I was saying earlier today, I went live on the new way. If you doing a car and you get done with that car and you feel like you didn't get paid enough, you didn't get paid enough. If you feel like your prices are too low, they're too low. There's a reason why your mind thinks that way. They're too low. If you think they're too low, they're too low. And Milton, you're gonna get it right. Trust me, you're gonna get it right. As long as you don't give up, you're gonna get it right. You're gonna make mistakes, but that's how you learn. You're gonna get it right. You have no choice if you stay persistent and stay on the path and don't give up. KMD, all graduates. Miss Underdog, that's it. That's it. Patrick Tuggers, what's going on? Yeah, your first instinct is usually right. And your subconscious mind is very powerful if you don't know this. And that book talks about all this stuff. That book, and just listen to that book. Either you're going to fall on one side or the other. You're going to tell yourself, dang, I do that. Trust me. Trust me, man. It's all about the demographics. Exactly. You're going to learn that. That's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn if you go on this side of town, they can go over here and get the car done for $20. So if you want to make it in that area, if you want to do a price point at $20, then you're going to have to come up with a package that you can finish that car fast as hell. But that's going to take a lot of thinking and a lot of work. If you don't want to do that, you worth more than that, then that's the beautiful thing about being mobile, because you can actually drive to the to a demographic that needs your services, that can afford that price point. Now, just because you go to a demographic that can afford that price point doesn't mean they're going to pay that price. You got to be worth it. You got to show some type of value. They got to see some value. And some of them, it doesn't matter. Some of them don't care. And demographic, I talked about demographics before on here. Demographic is not just area. Demographic does not mean locational. It's location, it's if you're married, it's sex, age, race, all of that. You see what I'm saying? So you may go to an area, a retired community, and you tell them this high price. That's high to them, because they back in the day when prices for gas was 60-something cent and 30-something cent. Everything is high to them. If you say, oh, this car's for this, even though they have the money, they may have the money, but it's too high. What is a car wash worth to them? That's what it is. What is it? Like I said earlier on the live on the new way. What is it worth to them? That's the thing. Now, it's not going to always be, you can be worth this, you can be worth this, you can charge that. Is somebody going to always say your prices are too high? Even when I was at $40, even when it was at $30, I had people to tell me my price was too high. At $30, and I'm talking about I was doing the maintenance detail. I was wiping everything down, cup holders, the air vents, the dashboards, the seats, the console, everything, wiping everything down, door panels, door jambs, tire shine. It would take me sometimes 2 hours, and I'd be like $30, $35, $40. Oh, you too high. I know I told a person, she had a Nissan Rogue. I told her 35. I think I told her $30. I know somebody that'll do it for 20. You see what I'm saying? So it just depends on what they think it's worth to them. They don't. You can sit up there and say, man, you can sit up there like a fool and say, you know what? I got insurance. I got this steamer. I got this VX 5000 steamer. I got a 4,000 PSI pressure washer. I got this generator. This costs this. I got this nice wrap van. This costs this. You can do that. They don't care. They see that. They don't care. Trust me. They can care less. All they know is I can go around the corner and the dude with the bucket, he gonna do it for $10, $15. Oh man, I'm gonna wipe this down, I'm gonna wipe that down. They don't care because in their mind, that's what they're gonna pay for a car wash. So if you want the big bucks, you got to get away from that demographic and go to the people that value that type of stuff. You got people that like convenience and luxury and can afford it. You got people who want to spend money, who want you to come to them. I have a private detailer. I have a mobile detailer. He comes to me and he cleans my car. Let me give you his number. You want those type of people. Trust me. You want those type of people. That's what you want. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to take time to get to that point. And you might have to go through those rough cars and those filthy cars and everything to build your confidence up. That's what I did. I did those cars and I would get them clean. Do these cars, get them clean. Every time, oh, you done such a great job. Even though I felt like I would go home and be like, man, I worked all day. All I got is $100. I've done that. You see what I'm saying? So now, when I figured out that, okay, this person will pay this, and it wasn't until, well, I knew that before then, but it wasn't until I had several people tell me, you need to charge more. I had several people to tell me, you need to charge more. You're too good. You need to charge more. You're worth more than this. They would give me big tips, and they wasn't giving me big tips just to give me a big tip. They was giving me more because they was like, this is what I think this is worth, and I'm gonna just give you this because you've been out here working hard. I had a guy be like, man, you've been out, I've been looking at my window and everything, man, you ain't stopped. I ain't even see you drink no water or nothing. And he gave me a tip. So those are the type of people that you want. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make a living off this, because trust me, and then be careful. Like and I know the lingo, I know people talk, but I'm very aware of my subconscious mind and what I put into my mind, my subconscious, because you have to constantly tell yourself something for your subconscious to accept it. Once your subconscious accepts it, it's a part of you. So I try not to use the word hustle. I try not to use the word side. I try not to say, this is my side hustle. Maybe it is. I know the slang. I know it's slang. But when you say that to yourself, just think about it. You know how a married man have a side piece. The side piece doesn't get everything that the main woman gets. You know what I'm saying? The side piece might get a bill paid. The main gonna get the house, the car, the jewelry, the stuff like this. The side piece may get a little, it's just when I feel like doing it. You see what I'm saying? So when I say side hustle and this is my business, you gonna treat your business like a side piece? That's what I'm saying. Be careful about what you say and put into your head, because trust me, once it's in there, it's hard to get it out. And you'll see yourself You see yourself doing stuff. I remember one time when I first started, I told somebody, yeah, I got me a little business, and I felt so bad when I said that. I don't say that no more. I don't my ain't nothing about my business little. If somebody say, yeah, I see you got your little website, I see you got your little this, I'm gonna be offended and I'm gonna say something to them about it. Because I take it seriously. And if you take it seriously and people see that you take it seriously, that's gonna build your value. You'll be able to get that type of money. The other day, like I said earlier, the other day I did a car, like literally I can throw a rock at it. Literally, not far from my house. Guy called me. He said, man, I see you in the neighborhood all the time. I see you driving, doing lawns, and I see you all the time, man. And I need you to come and, do my wife's car or whatever. She had a Suburban. He said he don't need nothing special. He just need a wipe down, vac, wash, whatever. I said, cool. I told him it's gonna be 115. He said, all right, sounds good. I got out there, I knocked the car out, and he left, and he told me to call him when he gets done. He texted me, but I missed his text and whatever, and we kind of missed each other. But I got done with the car, I had to leave. He ended up calling me to pay me or whatever, and I had to double back and go back to his house, and he paid me. And so he gave me $200 bills. I said, yo, you need change. He was like, don't worry about it. It's an $85 tip. You see what I'm saying? Because the thing is that a lot of these people, they need something done. And if they got a good salary, they making good money, they need something done, they'll pay for that. They'll pay for that. You got people who pay for, you got mobile barbers, you got mobile hairstylists, mobile nail salon. They even got mobile veterinarians. And trust me, when a plumber comes out to your house, he charges you a service fee. So we can get the same thing, but the thing is, you got to start somewhere, and you can't be putting the stuff in your head that something is too difficult. You can't put that in your head, even if it is. You got to take steps and get through it. Don't put that stuff in your head. Don't sacrifice your quality for prices. Getting a website and advertising on Google brought me deeper interior cleaning package from 100 to 150 for a sedan. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, see? What did you say? Look at it again. Google. Advertising on Google. Y'all listen. Stop looking at cheap folks. That's what I'm saying. Because the thing is, it's gonna get to a point that where you keep going, you're gonna get to a point where you're not gonna look cheap. Like a person that's cheap is gonna see you and not say nothing to you because you look expensive. You're gonna get to that point if you don't quit, if you don't give up, and you keep updating, keep upgrading. You make some money, then you spend some money. You make some money, then you spend some money. And make calculated decisions. Everybody will ask me, yo, A&A, why you don't buy a zero turn? Why do I need a zero turn? People always tell me, yo, you need to buy a zero turn. Why do you say I need a zero turn? Why? Because you saw another guy on YouTube that has one? I don't need one. My walk behind, I stand on it. I ain't got to walk. It's big, I've changed it. I've had that thing for probably now about 7 years. I just changed the engine last year. Y'all see how many videos I got on YouTube with that thing? Come on, man. I'm talking about the lawnmower. I think I paid $3,000 for it. I can't even tell you how much money I made with that lawnmower, and I still got it today. I just put a new engine on it, new transmission. It's a new mower all over again. So like, I'm not gonna buy a $7,000 zero turn where most of my lawns, a zero turn can't even fit in the back gate. Why? I got one lawn that I can use it on, and my X mark works just fine. No, I got two of them now that I can use a zero turn on. But actually, yeah, I could use it on there. But one of them, both yards, one of them has a small gate where the dogs are at that I have to get in there and mow. A zero turn's not gonna fit in there. Uh, and then the other one has a ditch that I have to get boards and put it on there. So if I take a zero turn over them boards, the zero turn so heavy it can break the boards and hit it. I'm not taking a zero turn anywhere near a ditch because I don't want it to get stuck. So my X mark is versatile. It's like a zero turn and a push more at the same time. So that's what I'm gonna work with. I'm gonna do what's best for me. I'm not gonna stop looking at what other people got. Focus on you because that can take you off your path. That can take you off your path, and it can easily happen because it's easily get inspired and motivated by somebody else and think that you want to do the same thing. No, stay on your path and focus on what you're doing, and trust me, man, you'll go so far. Know your worth. Won't take my vacuum out for $30. And those people have the nastiest cars. Man, you right. Step, step and move on. Learn to say no. You have, you're right. I've come across them all the time. I see. Appreciate you, bro. It's good information. I see. Yeah, see, that's what I'm telling you. Women love convenience. Women love convenience. That's just how it is. Women love convenience. They'll pay that. Like most of my women are custom. I mean, most of my customers are women. Most of them. They'll pay for it. Get business cards and talk about your business and get the potential clients' numbers. It takes time, right? Oh, I bet you have more men clients. I bet. I'm yeah, somebody said the same thing. I'm sure you do. Mobile mechanic. Brian from Australia. I see. Yo, I'm telling you. See, here's the thing. You can scope for those people in those nice neighborhoods, but you know what? It's so much easier to let them find you. Put your information out there where they will find it, and they'll find you because they're looking for your services. They're looking for your services. I paid 300 for both my German Shepherd lab for mobile groomer and take care of them because my girl love to have them inside, but I can't deal with the hair. Yeah, and I mean you value that service because it's cleaning the dogs up, getting all the hair off of them so they can be inside. Your girl loves it. You'll pay for that. You see what I'm saying? So you'll be surprised what you'll pay for. The older you get and the things you got to deal with, you'll be surprised what you'll pay for. Uh, yeah, I recommend that you do get insurance, but I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. When I started, I didn't have no insurance. I didn't have no insurance. Uh, like I said, I just think of it this way. Uh, what are the chances of me damaging something? To be honest, guys, the chance of you damaging something is really, really low. I think the worst thing that can possibly happen is if you like if you're using buffers or you can break something on the interior, you know, a knob or switch or something like that. But what I always did, this is what I did. What I always did was I'm not trying to drive the vehicle. That was one thing. I'm never going to drive the vehicle other than to park it or move it so the damage can be minimal. Um, another thing. When y'all changing out tips and stuff like that, you know, aim that first to test the gun out, aim it on the ground, aim it towards the ground. So if the tip pop off, you know, it won't hit no window because that thing will break a window. It'll definitely break a side window. You probably put a big chip or a dent in the front windshield if you hit it, and you could chip the paint if that thing coming out with a lot of pressure. But that way, if you point on the ground, if it hit the ground, you could possibly find your tip. You could possibly find your tip, or or you're not gonna damage anything. That's the only thing I can see happening. Just for thinking right now, I know there's other things that can happen, but or you can scratch or anything. But what I used to do is, like I said, every time I do a job, I save money. I don't care what it is. It can be $5, $10, $20. And if y'all charging hundreds of dollars for these details, you should be putting back at least 20% of that. You can do less, you can do more. Me personally, 20 to 30% of what you make off each job, save it. So by chance, if you do damage somebody's vehicle, you could probably pay it out of pocket. Uh, and then over time, you could get insurance once you get your clientele up. But I didn't feel the need to get insurance for detailing when I first started because I wasn't doing that many cars, and a lot of the questions that y'all asking is down the line, you know. But if you can afford liability insurance for your detailing, you know, right off, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it because it's not a matter of if, it's when you damage somebody's vehicle because the more vehicles you do, the chances go up for you to do, you might damage one. But since I've been detailing, I've only damaged one vehicle and it wasn't really damaged. I scratched the on the inside of the car, it had like a chrome bezel around the gear shift, and my nozzle was kind of jagged, was kind of scratched up or whatever, and it nicked it and it put a scratch on it. And most people would have been like, "Oh, don't worry about that," but she was all bent up out of shape about it, so I ended up having to replace it. And it wasn't just the bezel; I had to change the whole gear shift, which had a plug into it, like a chip or something. So I want to say that thing cost me like $500 or something like that, or something like that. Like I didn't want to buy it, but hey, I bought it and I moved on. I mean, you a boss, so you call yourself a boss. You're a business owner. When things like that happen, you just gotta fix it. That's what bosses do. Take care of problems. I appreciate that, Ronald Coleman. The book is called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Have I ever worked for a dealership? Not a dealership, but you know what? CarMax called me about 3, 4 weeks ago. They called me, but I wasn't able to do the job. I was just so booked, I wasn't able to get out there. The guy that they had didn't show up, and they had some people coming to visit. I guess some big wigs or upper management coming to visit, whatever. They needed the cars cleaned, and they was like, "Can you come out and do them today?" I'm like, "Oh hell no, I can't do that." I wanted to though, but I couldn't. A man's hard work with a woman's touch. Okay. Also, Sharon Webb, you work with your husband. You can burn a pet if you're not careful. Right. But I learned all that on my car. Right. That's smart. Because I'm trying to do work for a dealership and I need some tips on how to approach the dealership. Uh, I don't know. I haven't done much. I haven't done any work for a dealership. Now I've done car lots, and most people don't have good experiences with it. It's always, but it's good if it's good when you're starting out. Usually at dealerships, sometimes most of them want you to just like rest the outside of the cars they have on the lots. But like when they get trade-ins and stuff like that, they get trade-ins and stuff like that. But I mean, go in there and negotiate. Make sure you can get as much as you can because I'm pretty sure they're going to try to talk you down. But you should be able to get more money at dealerships. You should be able to. But June Jones and Rome the Polisher, they know all about that. You need to check those guys up. It's they got a podcast dealership. It's called Dealership Detailing Podcast. June Jones and Rome the Polisher. Check those guys out, man. That's where they got their start from, and they can tell you all about uh, like dealership details and all that. You're right. You can definitely damage degreaser if it's not using degreaser if it's not diluted right on leather. You can damage it. You sure can. Andrew Parent, what's going on, big dog? Can you make some iron-on patches for the new wave? You can send us to put on the shirts. No, y'all got to pay for a new wave shirt. If you want a new wave shirt, like I give them away here and there, but if you want a new wave shirt, you're gonna have to buy it. I'm not sending no patches, no iron-on patches. You got to buy it, man. If you don't have insurance, please don't be wet sanded. This was very informative, helping me away. This is my quiet time. Thank you all. I appreciate you, Troy Lynch. My wife and I work together. I did a wax job in the sun and had to call another detailer to help me out. Yeah. Yeah, you learn, man. Did you try? Did Sharon Ware? Did you try to use spray wax to get it off? To help you get it off? Spray wax sometimes helps get it off. No, that's my motto. Okay. I started my business a few months ago. Any tips on marketing? I grind for everything. Okay, I see. I see. Any tips on marketing? Oh yeah, that turtle wax. Yeah, man. That turtle wax, man. You let that stuff sit too long. Um, the thing about waxing that I've learned, sometimes it depends on your pad. Like if your pad is dirty, you can put that wax on. It'd be hard to come off. Uh, um, and if you do it in direct sunlight, if you in direct sunlight, it definitely will just get cooked on there and be hard to get off. But anytime I run into that problem where the wax is not coming off, I just get spray wax, spray it on there, and it helps get it soft and loose. And it was my second time detailing. This was 10 years ago. Okay. Right. Yo, Turtle Wax sent me a package of the new little black ice, black wax, something. They just sent me something the other day. But what I learned about waxing, and I learned this real early, like a little goes a long way. You don't need a lot. What I do is I just take the bottle, I just do a line, you know, or sometimes I do like 4 or 5 dots, like doop 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 doop, and I just work it in. I just work it in and work it in and work it in until the haze is gone. Like I just keep buffing until the haze is gone. Then I do it again, and it's easy to. It's not much to take off. Sometimes I get done, it looks like it's nothing there, like no haze, and it easily comes off. Do one panel at a time, exactly. Like because I know you get out there and you start working, and your mind just says, you know what, I'm just trying to hurry up. So you try to do the whole side of the car, and it's just beaming in that sunlight. Then when you go to try to wipe it off, it won't it won't come off. Uh, but how many have run into that problem and used spray wax and spray wax saved you? Use spray wax to get that wax off to get that gets hard on there, hard on the paint, or baked in the paint. How to gain more customers. Man, I know y'all some new guys, man. I ain't never seen y'all before, man. But y'all don't know how tired I get of those questions, like marketing and how to get new customers. I get so tired of answering those questions. But I know it's your first time asking. But I get asked that question at least 5 times a day. But getting more customer clients, you gotta advertise. Um, you got all types of different ways to advertise and market yourself. Um, Business cards, T-shirts, social media. Now I'm not gonna give you detail. I'm not gonna give you detail by detail on how to do it. That just takes too long. But um, but I'll give you direction to go where you can go research it and find out yourself. If you don't feel like researching, you can pay me for a consultation and I'll break it down. But I'm gonna give you one tip for free that I gave earlier today. I'm gonna give you one tip for free. Every time, and this is a big tip, trust me. And this tip is actually worth money. I shouldn't be doing this, but I'll give y'all this, but I won't be giving no more free nothing no more. But what I'm saying is, because I give enough free stuff anyway. Like you listen to what I'm saying, I'm telling you this stuff's going it's gonna help you if you just listen and apply what I'm telling you. But one way to advertise, and it works. When you go do somebody's car, when you get done with their car, take about 2 or 3 business cards, leave it in their cup holder. After you do that, you tell that person, hey, you ask them, are you on Facebook? What's your name on Facebook? You type them up. That's you right there. Okay, I'm gonna send you a friend request. Tell them you send them a friend request. Tell them to accept your friend request. You accept their friend request. You go home. You take pictures or video of that vehicle, before and afters, or video or whatever. Edit it up. If you can't edit, learn how to edit. Trust me. If you can't edit, research how to edit. Search how to edit. editing software, just like you found A&A, because I'm pretty sure you found me by searching YouTube videos and you found me, and then here you are. Same way. Type in how to edit and learn how to edit. Type in editing software. But you do these videos or before and afters. What you do is you put you put the thing on your page, and then you tag that person, right? That person is going to be like, wow, my car looks great. I look what I got my car clean today. It was great, blah, blah, blah. She's going to share it with her people. And then it can get shared several times. And it's in that network of people. If she was a high paying customer, guess how many people in her network that would like that service. And one thing I've noticed, when one person sees somebody else get something and they need it too, it makes them want to get it. And then it's like that person is vouching for you. You see what I'm saying? That's the way you can market yourself. That's the way you can advertise. That's the only one I'm gonna give you. I'm not giving out no more free stuff. Because the game that I give y'all, research this stuff yourself. Trust me. Research. Do your research. Trust me. Look at go around, look at other companies, how they advertise. Look at places how they advertise. It's nothing new, man. It's nothing new under the sun. It's the same stuff. People been advertising for years. The same stuff. It works. You know, it went from newspaper, it went from the yellow pages to newspapers to commercial TV to the internet. Same thing. Right. Okay. And y'all look in the comment section because a lot of these people are giving y'all game. Because I'm tired of saying it. I'm not going to keep saying it. I'm not going to just keep saying it. Because I don't think I'm helping nobody if I keep telling y'all everything. You know what I'm saying? I just want, it really just like motivate y'all to research and do it on your own. Trust me. Learn better that way. I use tents when it's hot. Referral discount is a good advertisement as well. Yeah? Spend a little extra chemical gas spray wax. Oh yeah, yeah. Like Milton L said, like check out my older videos. Like you can actually just type in advertising or how to get customers, and then just put how to get customers A&A, and it should pop up. It should pop up. I'm talked about that so many times. Right. Yeah. Yeah, the clay mitt. The clay mitt is awesome. That's all I use is the clay mitt. That's all I use. That's all I use is the clay mitt. Like when I discovered that clay mitt, I've never grabbed a bar since. If you see me using the bar, that means there's some clay bars I got left over, and my mitt is trashed. Again, like you new guys on here, go ahead and join the new wave. It's the new wave by A&A. Just type in New Wave by A&A. You're gonna see a blue New Wave logo. It's going to have it's gonna have my A&A. It's gonna have my little logo in the middle of that. New Wave by A&A. Go ahead and sign up for that. I saw like 3 or 4 new guys on here asking questions. Go there. It's a lot of people here with experience, men and women with experience, and I'm pretty sure if you go over there and ask a question, somebody can answer your question. Um, and I don't know everything. I'm just on YouTube a lot. Don't know everything, so that's why I like to. That's why I'm building a group like this so we can all, so people can be able to, we can know who all the like. I just be want to really know who my subscribers are. That too, and I just want to see how y'all do things and see what y'all got going on from where y'all from and how y'all do things. I know we have I think we have like three. As far as I know, it might be more, but I know of three women that are on the thing that detail, uh, and I don't see a lot of like pictures from y'all. I don't see a lot of pictures from y'all, man, and I like to see more pictures from you guys because one thing I've noticed, like with women pay more attention to detail. You'll be surprised. They notice a lot of stuff that we don't notice, and I'm just talking about in general, like in life. Uh, and I'm pretty sure it makes them good at detailing. Well, I know it does. And anytime you had a woman to work with you when it comes with interiors, uh, you don't have to tell them nothing about no interiors. They just good at that. Uh, I mean, when I got my first house, oh, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was the man. I had my first house, and I had cleaned it up and everything, and shoot, woman was like, "Oh, you gotta clean your baseboards." Man, I ain't never looked at no dang baseboards, but they were dirty. I was like, "Oh yeah, oh damn," and they was really dirty. So like, I didn't even look at stuff like that. I look at stuff like that now, but I didn't back then. You don't want to seem. I think about posting more pics, but I don't want to seem pushy or boastful. Shit's good on the interiors. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Like they just got it. You be trying to say, "Hey, don't do that," and it's already done. Hey, well, wipe it. Oh, they already did that. You be like, like actually probably do a better job than you do, than you can on those interiors. And then like when they learn the other stuff, they get good at that too. They get real good. They learn other stuff. They get real good at it. All right, y'all. But I'm gonna get up out of here. But again, new guys in the building. Go ahead and go over and join the new wave. Just go to Facebook, type in New Wave by ANA. You're gonna see the New Wave logo, and then you're gonna see the ANA logo right in the middle of it. Go over there and join. I'm out, man. I'll talk to you guys later, man. Shouts out to the New Wave. Peace.